Hey everybody, Signet here with the Bullish Bears, and today I want to do a little bit of a video on the Next Level Training Library. Now this is something that's been on my mind
Order
for
filled.
quite a while. The idea here is that if you don't have the Next Level Training Library, you might not really know what's in there, right? So let's walk through that a little bit. Let's actually take a look at what we have inside of the Next Level Training Library and maybe answer that question for you. Why would you want to do this? Right? I've had people tell me that they're on the month to month subscription at the Bullish Bears because they just really didn't see a reason to watch videos on introductory material. And this couldn't be farther from introductory material. So I'll tell you what the idea was here when I started to develop these videos. And you can see I didn't do every video in here, right? We've got the long-term options. I'm going to just start with this. This is at the top of the list for a reason. This is Tim's portfolio. Tim is one of the owners of the Bullish Bears, and it's his portfolio, guys, what he trades on a week to week basis. Now, on the weekends, on Saturday, he comes in and he does an update in the chat room, but during the week, he's getting into and out of trades. He's posting them on Twitter. You need access to the Twitter account to be able to see those. You can't get access unless you're a yearly member. You also get his videos that go with it. So he'll be explaining why he took a trade, what the logic was behind it, what he did for the trade, what his cost basis is, the target profit, all of that. That link updates every time he goes in and does something new. So unlike these videos where I keep making new videos and adding it to the pile, this one link, it just keeps getting updated, right? And that's something that I hear people asking for all the time, is not just for a trade idea, but the reason behind the trade, kind of the logic of what's going on. Why would we want to take this trade? Where's the target profit on it? So that's the first one on the list. And you can see that Dan has one in here too. How to day trade options. I can't stress enough that there is not one way to do things. Options are really well named because there's a lot of options on how you would want to trade them. Day trading options, sure, I got my own style. Dan also put in a video on his way of day trading options, how to build a watch list to actually have something to focus on during the day to be an options trader on an intraday basis, right? Even once you know how to trade options on an intraday basis, you still have to find something to trade. Dan goes over that right there, right? So, not all these are mine. You can see that Lucian uh, has developed his own credit spread strategy. Now, him and I did a lot of work discussing this, and his main goal was to help people who had a day job, to help you guys find a way to trade in a mechanical way that you don't have to be sitting at the chart all day long, crawling through the candles and watch lists and trying to figure everything out just to get a small trade, right? He built kind of the working man's strategy here. So there's a lot of different material. Okay, now after mentioning those, let's just kind of scroll down here to the bottom. When I first got into options, I had to learn how to understand the Greeks, and I don't come from a background where I didn't work in a bank, I didn't work in an insurance agency, I'm not an office kind of person. So when I started reading about the Greeks, I found the language very hard to grasp, and I had to Google everything and keep circling back and trying to put all these pieces together. So when I finally started to have a really good, strong understanding of the options, I decided that I needed to come up with my own videos on the Greeks. And what I did is I put that language into plain English. I got rid of the bank speak and just put it in regular speak. There's 9 different ways that we use delta in trading. Do you know that there's a gamma scalp strategy? How awesome is that, right? On Thursdays and Fridays, we can go in and trade gamma trades. They're very low risk, so like $5, $7, $12. And if you're wrong, shoot, you lose your 12 bucks. But they have a 300% average payout. That's amazing. It's a gamma scalp strategy, right? What about theta? Do you know that you can get paid in a debit spread the same way that you get paid in a credit spread? That you can just collect theta while you're sitting in a debit spread if you build it the right way? It's absolutely amazing. Or if you want to understand what the effects of the volatility shift is going to be, that you can use Vega to run that calculation. Of course, the brokers will do all of that work for you, but if you don't understand the Greeks, you won't understand what the broker's trying to help you with, right? So these videos, guys, these aren't introductory videos like strangles and straddles. It's not just how to trade the strategy or what a strangle and a straddle is. It's exactly the strikes you need, the delta selection, what you would want to do if you need to manage the trade as a winner or a loser. If you want to build a mechanical trading strategy, you're going to have to know how they work, but also actually see a strategy, right? So that you can benchmark yours or compare yours to something that you know already works. These, they work. What I did is I went and found material from around the world because options are traded everywhere. And I looked for best practices, what I call the gold standard. I looked for trading firms and how they do things. I looked at hedge fund managers and how they do things. Places like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and Wells Fargo, they've got trading firms going on. They've got pre-built trade strategies, right? And they have back-tested things because they hire the best minds in math and science to figure out how to put these trades on. The sweet spot. I learned what they did and what they do, and then I adapted it for retail purposes because we don't have the same restrictions that they do. We have so much more freedom. It's why they might brag because they hit 11% year over year returns, and we brag when we get 1,100% year over year returns, right? Because we're not beholden to people the way that they are. We don't have the risk restrictions that they do, right? Of course, they got their own edge, obviously. So, guys, if you're sitting there wondering why you should get the next level training library and how it will help you as a trader, I can tell you I spent over a year making the videos here that I wanted to make them as user friendly as possible to cover as many people as possible. Now, if you know me, then you know that I've said more than once that you cannot just rubber stamp a strategy and hand it to somebody, that they're going to have to understand the background behind what the strategy was based on. These Greeks, these videos are built with the sweet spot in mind, but you would still need something to trade, right? You're going to need to find a cup and handle, a breakout, a double bottom, a basing pattern. You're going to have a reason for getting into a trade. But once you've identified a market that you're wanting to trade,
Order filled.
these videos are going to show you how to choose which one, which strategy would you want. Do you want to offset an iron condor and stack all the risk onto one side like a skewed condor? What about if you inverted that iron condor and made it into an either or trade? Guys, there's so many ways that you can make money in options, but if you don't understand how the strategies work, then what are you left with? Buying calls and buying puts. And that's okay. That's a great strategy when it fits. What about when it doesn't fit? I've got a lot of tools in my toolbox that I can reach. Every single time I look at a chart, I can ask myself, do I want to take a trade in this? And if I do, I can start to determine which trade is going to fit my risk and my reward logic for that particular market. So if you think that you're missing out in options, that you want to grow and be a different kind of trader, or just add some tools to the toolbox, you're really going to want to focus on the next level training library. All right. These videos are not introductory videos of what a spread is. These videos are exact criteria for building the trade and when you would want to build that kind of trade. It's the missing piece. Hey guys, I really appreciate your time and I look forward to seeing you in the chat room.